What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday, which means we are only 2 days away from Super Wildcard Weekend. I am so pumped up, guys. It is literally playoff time. This season has flown by so fast. We got so many big-time matchups this week and plenty more to come the week after this. So let's jump right into it. This is going to be my NFL Super Wildcard Weekend preview. My record picking games for the regular season, my final record ended up being 158 correct, 112 wrong, and one that was a tie. So 158, 112, and one. Not too bad. Pretty solid. Let's see how I can do out of the 13 postseason games. But for the first one, the game that kicks off this postseason, Raiders at Bengals. The Bengals taking on the Raiders. They beat the Raiders earlier on in the year when they went out into Las Vegas, beat them 32-23. Now this one's in Cincinnati. Out in Cincinnati, it is very tough for the Raiders to play in that kind of atmosphere and weather. And you know the Bengals offense has just been on a roll lately. One matchup though for the Raiders that I do think is good is Josh Jacobs against that front seven of the Bengals. The Bengals do not really have that good of a front seven when it comes to stopping the run. So if you have a runner that can take over a game, which Josh Jacobs isn't that kind of runner, but he's a good runner, you can really exploit that. So I do feel if the Raiders get off to a fast start, they have a shot at winning this game if then they're able to just ground and pound against the Bengals. But I don't think they will get off to that fast start, resulting in the Bengals beating them 31-23. This is both quarterbacks' first postseason start. It should be a very fun matchup, though. I think it's going to be a game where the Bengals get off to a lead early, and the Raiders keep it a game throughout the whole way, but the Bengals are able to close it out. I'm excited to see what Joe Burrow can do in his first postseason start. Then the Patriots at the Bills, the Saturday night game. This is the third time these teams played this year. The first one, the Patriots won it in Buffalo in a 14-10 win where Mac Jones only threw the ball 3 times. Now, and then the second time the Bills beat them 33-21 in New England. This one's in Buffalo. It's expected to be cold weather, which would favor the Patriots' heavy running attack, especially against that weak front seven of the Bills. But, you know, it is in Buffalo, and the Bills did beat them the last time they played, and the Bills have the more playoff experienced quarterback. This is Mac Jones' first start, and if the game falls into the hands of Mac Jones and having to win it in a just outdo Josh Allen, I'm not confident with that. But what I am confident in is Bill Belichick out-scheming Sean McVay. But Sean McDermott just has better, personnel. I think this is going to be a very interesting game to see how this all plays out. I think it could go either way, but I'm going to take the Bills to win it 24-19. Then the Eagles at the Buccaneers, probably the game that's likely to be the least competitive of the wild card games. The Eagles may be the worst team in the playoffs, and you got the Buccaneers, the defending Super Bowl champions. This is a very tough matchup for the Eagles. They played earlier the year, but that was in Philadelphia. This one's going to be in Tampa, and that matters a lot for these two teams. And, with the Eagles, I just don't see any matchup that goes their way. I mean, on offense for them, they're not going to be able to get the running game going against that front seven, which means Jalen Hurts is going to have to, air it out. And he really has only one reliable receiver in Devontae Smith. And the Buccaneers are going to be double teaming him every single play. So the fact that they probably won't be able to get the running game going, then on top of the top weapon being completely targeted because he's the only good weapon, it's going to be tough for them to generate offense. And on the other side of the ball, yeah, I know that Tampa is, is missing a lot of people, but, they still have Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski. And, I mean, there's really no one in that Eagles secondary that can match up with Mike Evans or Rob Gronkowski. So I think Tom Brady should be able to pick that defense apart. I think it will be somewhat respectable. I don't think the Eagles are going to let themselves get blown out. They've made it this far, but I got the Buccaneers winning it 31-17. Then the 49ers at the Cowboys, possibly the toughest matchup to call of the week. This is a classic playoff matchup. These teams faced a lot in the 80s and 90s. A lot of history between these two teams. First time they face each other in the playoffs since 1994. Two consistent and efficient quarterbacks in Jimmy Garoppolo and Dak Prescott. With Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs coming back, this will make it only tougher for the 49ers offense. I do think they may struggle to get a running game going at times, and I think Garoppolo's going to have to stand back there and, just outdo Dak Prescott, which I think he's totally capable of. He has Deebo Samuel, he has George Kittle, he has Mohamed Sanu, and Trayvon Diggs, I feel like, is the main guy you got to look out for in that secondary. So I think Garoppolo just needs to go at it with the mentality of throw it to the opposite side of Trayvon Diggs. But I also see it this way too. If Trayvon Diggs is lining up on Deebo Samuel, which he most likely is, I think that's a good matchup if you're the 49ers, because Deebo Samuel is a physical wide receiver who can go up there and truck you. Look what he did against Jalen Ramsey. And Trayvon Diggs, he's very good at jumping routes, making picks, but he is not a physical corner. He's not like a Jalen Ramsey. He's more like of the Marcus Peters prototype. Not a good tackler, not very physical. So with those aggressive catches between those jump balls between Deebo Samuel and Trayvon Diggs, I favor Deebo Samuel in that matchup. So yeah, there's that. And then you're looking at the Cowboys on their offensive side of the ball, and you got two good running backs going up against a not as good as you would think run defense of the 49ers, despite the personnel they have. And the one issue the Niners will have in this game is their secondary versus the Cowboys receivers. Your number one corner, if you're the 49ers, is Josh Norman. He's going to be covering Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, I expect to have a big day in that department. Plus, who's going to guard CeeDee Lamb on the other side? That's why the 49ers will need to come up with a very good zone scheme against this Cowboys offense. And because Dak, they can't just the solution isn't just blitzing Dak, because Dak he's good under the pressure against the blitz. This game could really go either way. And I think the winner of this game could easily make a run into the Super Bowl. I got the 49ers winning it, though, 29-27. I think this game's going to be back and forth. A lot of lead changes. I think it's going to be a good one. Then you got the Steelers at my Kansas City Chiefs. The Sunday night game. The Chiefs played the Steelers earlier in the year. Just a couple of weeks ago, actually. The Chiefs kicked their ass 36-10. There's a lot of playoff history between these two teams. Back in 1993 or 92, I believe, when Joe Montana was the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, he played the Pittsburgh Steelers in a wild card game, won on the final play of the game, touchdown to Willie Davis, I believe. And then a couple years back, 2016, the Chiefs and Steelers played. Chiefs lost to them 18-16 in heartbreaking fashion. I remember watching that game. I was crying afterwards. It was a rough one. But here we are again between the Chiefs and the Steelers. Patrick Mahomes 2-0 against Big Ben in his career. This most likely will be Ben Roethlisberger's final game, because the Chiefs will win this game. So the Chiefs will win it 31-21 is my score prediction. Some people are predicting it to be an all-out blowout. I don't see that happening because I think you blew out this team a few weeks ago, and it's very hard to blow out the same team twice, and the second time being in a playoff game. And the Steelers are that kind of team that throughout this year they've won a lot of games and lost a lot of games, but a lot of their games have been based on just making things ugly, wreaking havoc, not making it not pretty, making it sloppy for both teams. And that's the way they've been able to keep themselves in games, and that's probably the approach they're going to have coming into this one. And Roethlisberger said yesterday on Wednesday how He knows that we know as a team that this might be we might be the worst team in the playoffs right now. We maybe even shouldn't be here, but we're just gonna go out here and have some fun. That makes them very dangerous, even though they may not have the personnel for it to actually make the run. But I think the Chiefs should be able to beat him 31-21. It may be a closer game than expected at halftime, but then the Chiefs will pull away in the second half, and I think the Chiefs will take care of business. And then the final game of Super Wild Card Weekend, Cardinals at the Rams, another divisional matchup. Key note here too, 5 of the 6 games are rematches of games from the regular season. The only one that is not is the 49ers and Cowboys. But back to the Cardinals and at Rams. These two teams played earlier in the year. They both beat each other once. The Cardinals won at LA, and then the Rams won at Arizona. Of course, that one at the Rams one was more recent. This is a pretty interesting one too. This one, I could see this one going either way. I don't see the Rams running game getting a lot going against the Cardinals front seven with J.J. Watt coming back, Chandler Jones, Zabin Collins, Isaiah Simmons probably going to be lining up in the box. Sony Michel's good, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the running game over. I don't think the Rams running game will hit 75 yards in total unless they have like a breakaway run. But then their receiving core, I mean, OBJ has been a great addition for them. And Cooper Kupp obviously has had a MVP caliber season. The Cardinals secondary has been a little bit shaky as of late. And, Robert Alford, Jonathan Joseph, I don't know if those guys are going to be able to get the job done on those one-on-one matchups. And, on the other side of the ball, Kyler Murray, they're not gonna be doing a whole lot of running if James Conner isn't back, which he may not be. And I don't know if I believe DeAndre Hopkins will not play in this one. So AJ Green's the #1 target. Jalen Ramsey is gonna completely take him out of the game, because he's probably gonna be following him around. So the key there is Rondale Moore may not play either. So the Cardinals are a little bit short-handed here. I'm gonna lean towards the Rams in this one. I'm gonna take the Rams to win it, 27-21. I think it's gonna be a tight one. I think Kyler Murray is gonna keep the Cardinals in this game. I think he's gonna fight and he's gonna give it all he's got. I think it's very possible he's gonna outplay Matthew Stafford, but due to Matthew Stafford simply having, I think, a better team, I think the Rams are gonna get the win. Some say that the Cardinals the Cardinals are a better overall team than the Rams. I don't think so. I really don't. I've seen some inconsistencies all season long from this Cardinals defense and this offensive line. I got the Rams winning this one. But again, all of these games are very good games. All of them I could see going either way, except for maybe Chiefs, Steelers, and Bucks, Eagles. This will set up for then some more good matchups for the divisional round the week after this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe and sack that like button. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.